What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. I apologize, I haven't posted a video in a very long time. Life has just been super busy, but now that we are kind of getting into the colder months, that means I have hopefully more time to work on the BMW 2002 project car. So as you guys can see behind me, if you're not familiar, this is my 1976/1973 BMW 2002. It needs a lot of work, as you guys can tell, but you know, we've already started doing some fender work because we are putting fender flares on, but that is not what today's video is about. I actually have a video coming for that. If it's not posted already, it will be posted very soon. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the interior because we are actually going to be taking the interior here. You can see I've got some of these door panels that are brown, and we're actually doing black interior. I've got new carpet, I've got new headliner, new seats, so lots of stuff going on the inside of the car, but nothing matches in terms of colors. And so what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to show you the process for dyeing the leather on the door cards. So I've already actually done the rears, both the rear door cards and the little handles and everything like that, and it's all in the car up there. I just want to make sure that process went smoothly before I actually show you guys how to do it. But just to show you guys what we're using here, this is the product that was highly recommended by people online. This is called SureFlex, and they have a variety of different colors, but I wanted to go straight black on this one just to keep it nice and clean. And we've got like a nice, you know, gray, black, charcoal carpet color, and so I wanted to do black on the seats as well as the door panels. So this is what we're going to be using. As you guys can tell, I've already used a decent amount of it, but this is more than enough. This is 8 fluid ounces, and plenty enough in here to do the door cards, you know, 3-4 times if need be. So what I'm doing is I'm actually putting 2 coats on, as you guys can see here. I've already taken the, let's see here, the visors. These were actually tan before, and I've made them black. Wasn't sure if it would work, but did 2 coats on here. Turned out really nice. I just have these out here because I'm doing some touch-up on them. But again, the rear door panels are all really nice looking. It all turned out really great. Additionally, I did replace the cardboard because on the front 2 door panels here, the cardboard was extremely old and disintegrating, and it's going in the trash. So I actually put new cardboard on. Pretty simple process. You can use a fabric spray, or what I did was I used staples, because from factory it actually comes with staples, combination of staples and you know, adhesive, but I just went ahead and used some staples here. I also have new clips, door clips, because most of them were missing and or broken, so bought a set of clips there from Amazon and replaced this inner cardboard piece. So that was the process for that. Very simple. Just swapped it, and now we're going to be finally putting a coat of dye on here. And so super easy process. I'm going to do 2 coats. What you want to make sure first is that these are perfectly clean before you do this. Clean, dry, so I've wiped them down already. And I mean, they're not perfect. This is a budget build car, so these are already kind of fading too. But I did color these, dye these as well on the back panel, so I'm just going to do it on here as well. It seems to be holding up okay, so if it eventually peels off, no big deal. I'll figure something else out, vinyl wrap it or whatever, but I don't really care for this weird bluish gray color, so just going to dye it all black and we'll be good. As for this part, this is like a weird plastic piece which I'm not sure that I can dye over, but the good thing is if you get dye on, you know, something like this or metal, you're able to kind of scrape it off, and that's what I did. For example, on this mirror here, the actual glass, the mirror glass, got a little bit of dye on it, and all I did was take my fingernail and scratch it off, so no big deal there. But yeah, so this is what we're going to be doing in today's video. Alright, so what you want to do first, again, after you clean everything off, make sure there's no dust or debris or dirt on here. You just want to make sure you got a nice clean surface to work on. We're going to shake this up really nicely. I would also recommend using some gloves because it is dye and it can get into your skin. So use some gloves as well as a disposable brush. And so the instructions for this, they tell you, to basically paint in all directions. You don't have to do lines or anything like that. It's actually better to paint it in every direction. No sort of, formal way to do it. You just have to get it on there, and you want it to absorb into the leather. So that's why you go crisscross patterns and just kind of arbitrarily, paint. So that's what we're gonna be doing. And then I'll probably let it dry for about 24 hours. Probably doesn't need 24 hours, but I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours. And actually, it says on here, leather must be allowed to dry thoroughly 24 hours or more. So that is what we'll do, 24 hours, and I'll do a second coat. But the first coat doesn't need to be crazy heavy. You'll see, it's thick. So the hardest part actually from doing the other door panels in the past, or the rear door panels, was in here, these little grooves, getting in here. So you might need to double up a little bit there in terms of how much to use, but otherwise pretty simple process. All right, so once again, just want to make sure that your dye is either stirred or lightly shaken. So that's what it looks like, straight black. I'll have links in the description if you want to buy this. And so again, we're just going to go arbitrarily kind of all over the whole thing here. So it's okay if you spill it, doesn't matter, just rub it all in. And again, I'm going to focus a little bit heavier on these little areas here. But again, it's going to be good to have two coats just in case we miss something the first go around. Also recommend putting some cardboard down so you don't get dye all over everything. But you can see I'm just kind of working it in. And yeah, very, very simple to do. Changes the whole appearance of the car, obviously. So I'm glad it'll all be one color again. So yeah, that's basically the whole process. Just keep going. I'll come back to you guys when I'm done with both of these and show you what it looks like. All right, so this is just a progress report. As you guys can see, I've got one panel done with one coat, and obviously the way it looks like it's super uneven, but that's what it's supposed to be. When it dries, it actually dries really, really nicely, and then we'll do a second coat. So again, if you happen to miss some spots, that's why we do a second coat. You can see there's some brown there that's still coming, kind of peeking through. That's why we do the second coat, but the instructions do say on the can, to not go over the areas that are already starting to dry. So we're just gonna let this one dry, come back to it, do a second coat. But here's a comparison of before and sort of after. So pretty simple process. All right guys, so very, very simple and easy process. I know this video was super quick, but makes a huge difference when this is all dried up. So I'll come back to you guys when it's dried, and I've put two coats on so you guys can see what the final product looks like. All right, both door panels on the front have one coat. I did my touch up on the visors. So we'll let this dry for 24 hours, come back, do a second coat, and I will show you the final product. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final product. Two coats of the dye, fully dried and cured, and turned out really nice. In the sun so you can kind of see a little bit better. So they are a little dusty right now. They've been sitting here for a couple days, but they're all pretty good. As you guys can see, I added new cardboard in the back, new tabs for the doors. So I'd say that these are good to go, sufficient enough for this build. Obviously not totally perfect, and obviously we'll need to cut out, for speakers or whatever I end up doing there. So everything looks good, and these are ready to go in the car as soon as I get some other things done on the interior. So these are just going to go in storage, but that's generally the process on how to do this. Pretty simple and easy to do, and not very expensive. All right, guys, so that just about wraps up today's video on how to dye your interior, whether it be your seats or your door panels. The same product applies, so at least now we've got all full black interior. I've got brand new carpet, like I mentioned, brand new black headliner. The dash has some cracks in it, so I need to figure that out, but I do have some epoxy type weld, JB Weld type stuff that I can hopefully use to repair some of that stuff. But that'll be another video. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about what this process looks like, or anything about the 2002 or even the G80, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.